Hello Daily Drafters and welcome back to the channel for today's daily draft. We are continuing with the Brothers War today. It seems like the format is almost over, yet we still have at least maybe 6 or 7 drafts left before we get there in the midst of the Arena Decathlon, of which we already have, what day is it today? Today's Friday, of which we already have 1 of 2 attempts at a token. So we just need 2 more tokens out of the next 8 events to make it to the Decathlon finals. We are in the midst of that. We are drafting Brothers War. If you are new to the channel, this is a great time to get in. We've got a ton of content for you. And we're going to hop right into our first Brothers War, not our first Brothers War pack, but pack 1, pick 1 for today's Brother War Best of 1 draft. With Phyrexian Dragon Engine, 3-mana 2/2 double strike that could also unearth if we find access to Mishra. It's going to be hard though. Mishra is a very, very good card. If we look at other cards in this pack, they all are kind of bad. I mean, there's Scrapwork Mutt and Goblin Blast Runner. And those are the 2 that I'm looking at. And I doubt they wheel, but those are basically the other 2 best cards. Ooh, Door to Nothingness. So I said in Wednesday's draft that I'm usually not the kind of content creator to try to make this work. And I still think I'm that person. This is just, I don't know, man. These are the kind of cards that you take, and then if it doesn't work out, you shoot your win percentage into the toilet, and then you go like 1-3 in a draft, and it's like, well, that was not very fun. So I'm looking at Juggernaut versus Mishra's Research Desk here. We're not at all married to red. Although having access to the Unearth here is definitely very good. I think Mishra's Research Desk has the highest upside here because every other card, I mean, I do like Juggernaut, but every other card is very replaceable. I mean, Thopter Architect, fine in green-white, but not really a reason to get into that. It's just like, oh, I'm in green-white, great, and here's a Thopter Architect. So I'll take the Research Desk, and we could just start colorless, which means that Lodestone Golem is probably not going to be very good for us. But what else is there here? All right, another bad pack. There's an Unleash Shell. There's a Thraxidemon. There's a bunch of green, but like not a lot of good green. There's some like medium green. I don't care too much about this card. This is effectively unplayable. Shoot Down is fine, but really not great either. Hoarding Recluse is fine. Tinkering is basically unplayable. Maybe we just take an Unleash Shell? And then we have 3 reasons to be red. Calamity's Wake is unplayable. Lodestone Golem is not for our start. This is not good. This is not good. This is fine in certain decks, and this is fine. That was a bad pack. See if something can get picked up here. Urza's Silex is basically a bad board wipe. Not to mention, in white in this format, white does not really want board wipes. Springleaf Drum, no. Whirling Strike, Koilos Rock, Blitz Automaton. We're dealing with some pretty bad packs here. I guess we take Blitz Automaton over Koilos Rock? I mean, I'd like to see a signal as far as something being open. And here's a signal. There's a Disfigure and an Excavation Explosion and a Blast Runner. So, and to a lesser extent, a Paratrooper. So this is our first sense of a signal. Excavation Explosion being open here. Or being here in pick 5, which is pretty good. I wonder if this is one of those rare mono red decks. And then there's no red cards. I mean, there is, but this card's unplayable. So maybe just a random Killzone Acrobat if we go into red-black sack. Power Plant Worker. I've yet to do the whole TRON thing. Maybe this is the draft to do it. Because what am I giving up on? A Killzone Acrobat? I mean, maybe mono red is going to be good enough here. I don't know. I'm not really missing out on much with the Killzone Acrobat. There is a Trench Stalker which is notable, but not really for this start either. Let's see if Power Plant Worker can get there. Alright, now there's a Goblin Blast Runner, and I think that has a higher upside than a random Thraxodemon or Killzone Acrobat here. Everything else is not great. So let's take the Blast Runner. Then we see a Bitter Reunion as well as a Mine Worker. I think I'm going to take the Bitter Reunion. With one Blast Runner already, there's a Bitter Reunion, and there's another one that might wheel and pick 9, if I remember correctly. I think in the first pack, we picked Dragon Engine over Blast Runner, and I can't remember the other red card, but there was 2. So I'm going to take the Bitter Reunion and see if we get another Blast Runner here. It was Raised to the Ground. That was the other card. We did not get the Blast Runner. But a single Raised to the Ground is not the worst thing to run. It's also not the best, but we'll see. Oh, we got the Mine Worker here too. Okay. Alright, now we're just looking for Tower Worker. See, all these green cards came back, and none of them are particularly great. So, this is unplayable, this is unplayable. I'm not playing really any of those cards there. So, I'm kind of hoping to be mono red at this point, but that could change. Could change with a nice Mishra, pack 2, pick 1, or a Worm Coil Engine. But that's a card that I have yet to see in any pack I've opened in now 20 drafts. Ooh, pick 13 Blast Runner. Okay. Maybe that's where it was. Interesting. Alright, so we already have one Bitter Reunion with double Blast Runner. We already have a Mishra's Research Desk as well. Alright, we've got some stuff here. What else can we find? Alright, there's a Skyfisher Spider, which is the best card in the pack, but there's also a Pendragon Strongbow, which we will take. There is a Soul Guide Lantern, which would also be good because it can sacrifice itself for our double Blast Runners. There's a Rock Hunter and Unleashed Shell. Maybe Rock Hunter wheels, but I think it's a pretty easy Pendragon Strongbow here. Do we do it? Is today the meme draft? I mean, we do so many drafts here on the channel. I think we're going to end up with 26 or 27 Brothers War drafts. And if we don't go for Tron in one of them, what are we even doing? This is what you got to do in the format with this many drafts, right? That's what we're here for. We got to take Tower Worker. I mean, that's what we're doing. Another Excavation Explosion is great. There is a Scrapwork cohort, but we don't have a way to splash its Unearth yet. Another Spider, pretty good, but pretty easy Excavation Explosion here, I would think. And we're looking for more Blast Runners. I'd love to end up with like 4. And then we can get... Alright, well, Cliff Stompers... Gosh, 3 straight Spiders. Wow. There's a Self-Assembler that could tutor up our Tron package. But there's also... I think Cliff Stomper wheels. This is going to be great in our deck, but I think it wheels. I think red is wide open. And this can tutor up any one of our 3 Tron packages. So I'm going to try to wheel Sardian Cliff Stomper out of that pack. Now there's a Scrapsmith that I probably don't want to play. There's a Thopter Mechanic. There's some good cards here, but that's the disadvantage of going mono-colored sometimes, is like you have to pass up on several good cards. Like we saw 3 straight Spiders, and we had to pass up on all those because we're kind of locked into mono red at this point, which is fine. I mean, I've only drafted mono green once in this format. It was not good, spoiler alert. Or maybe it was good, I just went 0-3. But here is a mono red deck, which I think could be pretty good. We'll just put that in a sideboard for now. Here's a Mishra's Juggernaut. And I think that's pretty clearly our pick. So we'll take that here. Now there's a Spotter Thopter, which is only 8 mana in our deck. There's a Mishra's Domination, which I hate. There's an Arms Race, which is unplayable. There's a Killzone Acrobat if we have to go into black. I mean, I'm not playing any of these cards at all. So I'll just take the Acrobat, I guess. Well, another dud of a pack here. I can cut the red card, but it's a last pickable red card, so it doesn't really matter about cutting that. I mean, this is the only card we'd probably play here. We don't really have the combos for Trench Stalker. We're not drawing 2 cards with basically anything but Bitter Reunion. I don't want to play this, so I'll just put it into the sideboard for now. I mean, this could be playable, but I think we'll make it. I will make playables without it. Pyrrhic Blast. Maybe? I'm not sure. I'm really hoping for the Sardian Cliff Stomper to come back around. I think it's going to be pick 11 or 12? Not positive. But if that doesn't come around, that's bad news for us. A couple more power plant or mine workers or all that kind of stuff wouldn't be the end of the world either. I'm not playing any of this garbage. Our curve is not great. I'll just rare draft here. Like, nobody should want Sardian Cliff Stomper except a mono red player, right? Like, well, I think we missed out. I think someone took it. Either that or it's right here. If it's not here, we missed out. Who's taking Sardian Cliff Stomper? That's weird. Well, I tried to wheel it and didn't get rewarded, unfortunately. So let's see if we could find it pack 3. There is 1 red card here. It is Scrapsmith. But there is a Foundry Inspector, an Energy Refractor, and a Power Plant Worker, and an Argivian Avenger to a lesser extent. Foundry Inspector in this deck is looking pretty good. We have a bunch of artifacts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 already. And we're ideally looking for more. I mean, I'll take Foundry Inspector. I guess we'll take a Tower Worker here because there's nothing else. Yeah, our curve is horrendous, to say the least. So, ooh, Horn Stoneseeker is a great pickup for us. Love to see that. So we will snap up the Stoneseeker here quite happily. And unfortunately, it looks like we're not going to meld this draft, unless we get a Mishra like this pick. Which we don't. So there's a Dwarven Forge Chanter with currently 4 instant sorceries. 1, 4, 5. That's not great, but it is a 2-drop. It might just be good enough for our deck, to be honest. There's not really anything else there I would play. Maybe this Scrapsmith is actually not bad. And maybe this Pyrrhic Blast could get in. Everything else is ideally not getting in. Alright, there's an Energy Refractor, there's a Chromatic Star, which does sacrifice itself for the Blast Runners. There's another Juggernaut, but our curve right now is not outstanding. The Refractor doesn't do much for us, like at all. And I guess the only thing the star does is help these blast runners. Yeah, I'll take the Juggernaut. I forgot that the Juggernauts are also pretty good with the Scrapsmith, and maybe we can get another Scrapsmith. You can bin these into the yard and get them later. Well, the only card we would play here is Unleash Shell, although, again, our curve is just not great. Alright, there's a Rock Hunter. I guess it's a 2-drop we could play. And we did not get any more Blast Runners. I would have loved to get at least one more. But we're gonna... We'll see what this deck can do. It's gonna be interesting. It's a little bit confused. But, I don't know. Again, when you draft this format 27 times on camera, not including off-camera drafts, sometimes you gotta have a little fun and go for things you don't usually go for. We have one more pick to find a Mishra. Maybe it'll last 7 picks before us. I think there's a power plant worker that could wheel out a pick on pick 9 here. Well, we did not get there, unfortunately. This is too expensive. So is this. We're not playing this. I don't know what we're doing. There, the power plant worker did wheel. Let's make our curve even worse. 7 5-drops. Ooh. Chain Dancer, who knows, maybe. Scrapsmith, again, that's not bad, I don't think. Raise to the Ground number 2 could be playable. I doubt it. We have plenty of playables here. We're at 29. I don't think we're playing this thing. I mean, this is good with the Scrapsmiths because we can bin it to the yard, but if we draw it, that's not very good. So let's see what we want to cut here. I think one Unleash Shell is fine to cut. A Raise to the Ground is fine, and possibly this Pyrrhic Blast, although we could easily run 16 lands. Our curve is kind of high, so I'm worried about running 15. I'm almost thinking of this as a 2-drop or 3-drop. All of this is basically going to have to stay. I think we're keeping this for the TRON package, and both Juggernauts seem okay, so I think I'll cut the Pyrrhic Blast. I could just cut the Raise to the Ground as well. I think I will. And then I'm looking at like a random Chain Dancer. It's probably just the Chain Dancer. Now, we don't have anything in the 4-drop slot, but I think that'll have to do. And then we go at least 16. I'm wondering if 15 is good enough here. We have a Bitter Reunion to dump one of these if we need to. We don't have a lot of extra card draw. We have Self-Assembler. We have Dragon Engine to an extent. Scrapsmith is kind of like card draw. Bitter Reunion's a little bit of card draw, and Mishra's Research Desk is card draw. So that's all that is not too bad. I'm thinking 15 lands here. Again, the main reason we run 17 in most decks is because we need ample sources of both colors. But when you only have one color, all you need is like 4 or 5 lands on the battlefield and you're good. So I think 15 is probably okay, even with the high curve. We're going to hit 5 lands at some point, and even if we don't, we have so many plays on 3. So I'm going to try 15 and see if we get screwed out of it quickly enough. Who knows? Well, we're going to try out this mono red deck, so I'll see you in round number 1. Alright, we're on the play here with a Blast Runner into Bitter Reunion, which is going to have to be good enough. The Bitter Reunion can loot away one of these lands. We have 15 lands and they put 4 of them in our starting hand. Oh well. Sometimes you're just unlucky, right? Okay, we've drawn a third of the lands already. Come on. Oh my word. Alright, well... I mean... Explosion and yet another land. I guess next turn we're explosioning something, right? So, they're kind of priced into not playing a good creature here. And if they don't, we hit them in the face. Okay, we'll just explosion that, I guess. Next turn, we can play any one of these and then sacrifice the Bitter Reunion to give it haste. I think I'll play the Juggernaut. And then we'll just sacrifice this because we're not going to get much more value out of this thing right now. They don't have good attacks. They can chump the Juggernaut, but that Goblin Blast Runner has Menace now, so they go to 7. Precursor Golem, yuck. I do not like that. I would love to draw Unleash Shell now, because that has been busted against Precursor Golem. But no, I can settle for my 8th land. Well, they're gonna get the Juggernaut here, unfortunately. The Precursor Golem is a busted card. And now we can do Self-Assembler and get Mine Worker and cast it. Argivian Avenger, yeah, these are good cards here. So we can do this and still cast Power Plant Worker as well. We'll see if they try to disassemble our Tron. Blackblade Reforged. Are any of these things legendary? No. So it costs 7 to equip. But boy, we could just die if they equip and play an artifact. Also, all of these artifacts entering are a problem for our life total with this Thopter Architect down. Okay. Darn. The wrong one. Let's see what we can find here. Guess it'll be a Stone Seeker. Oh, I don't know. I should have just cast this. Oh, that was... I just got excited. I could cast that next turn. So I can attack here because this is going to force a trade with a 3/3. Which is about as good as that's going to get. We're going to have to watch out from this Argivian Avenger here, because if they equip Blackblade Reforged and give it flying, we're going to have to take like 13 in the air or something. So we could just like die out of nowhere. Okay, yeah. Ooh, could they get their whole team flying with this? They could. 7. So we're not dead. They could have basically killed us next turn if they had waited to play the Jade Crafter. Because you can, for 5 mana, you can get 4 artifact triggers here, which would give their whole team flying. Looks like they're playing it slow, though. Oh, baby. Oh, baby, we did it. Look at that. Now, what does it do for us? Not a ton. We get to gain 3 life, I guess. We could also put 2+1. So let's cast this. And then hope that all these things survive, I guess. I don't know. We just don't really have good attacks, necessarily. Maybe next turn we will. We've assembled Tron. We've done it. We've done it. So thanks so much for sticking around to the end. No, I'm kidding. We have officially assembled Tron, though. So tap to gain 3, and put 2+1/+1 counters on this thing. Tap for 3 mana, and then we could cast both of these. Do we have lethal then? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cast this and this. They eat this, they chump, chump, chump. And then... Wait, is that right? I think we have lethal. 5, 6... So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 attackers here. And they can block 5 of them. So they would block this, 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 and this. And then they would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Seems like lethal to me. Right? I gotta do that math again? Okay, so this has to attack. So they block this one, they block this one, they block this one, and this one. So that is all of their blocks. And then they would have to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Sounds good to me. That's how much life you have. So I assume that's lethal. Yep, yep. And then, yeah, we'll have it here. Math? Math. Alright. We assembled Tron. We've won. We have officially won Brothers War. Thanks. Alright, opponent goes first. We have 2 drop, 3 drop. We're 2/3 of the way to Tron already. I mean, what more could you want? What a curve here. 2, 3, or 3, 4, 5. Scrapwork Mutt. That's a card I would have liked to have access to. Oh no, are they playing Reanimator? Hope not. Because if they are, we lose. Missed a land drop. I think I would like to get a Power Stone onto the battlefield here. I have Disfigure for Mine Worker. They do. Well, no Tron this game, but that's okay. We've already done Tron. Alright, they found their 3rd land, and it's their 3rd color, so good for them. So we could play Horn Stoneseeker, but that would be the only thing. We could do Stoneseeker and Automaton, but we're already close to this. So we could just do Power Plant Worker here for mana efficiency, and then next turn, potentially... Stop it. I don't like when you remove my things. It's kind of annoying. I'd prefer to do Automaton on 7. Alright, these flyers are gonna have to stop. Because flyers are a way that we lose here quickly. The clock right now is quite quick. This is basically free, and I guess I'll do this one. I know they can unearth it, but I'd rather them unearth it now than me let it sit down, eventually remove it, and then they unearth it to kill us. So... Obstinate Baloth. Ugh. Oh, Gixian Infiltrator. Skull Flayer. Well, gotta start attacking some point. No, stop it. I am tired of your removal spells. That is just very annoying. Your 1 mana kill my creature. Let's see what we find here. This has reach. I guess that means we play it. Alright, yeah, these skull flayers are gonna start getting big. Uh-oh, didn't want to do that. Oops. I guess I'll do this. Now, if we attack with Goblin Blast Runner, they have to... We would trade it with a Scrapwork Mutt. Which is probably as good as it's going to get for that card here. Could also do this, but if they call our bluff and we have to activate this, then we can't cast Power Plant Worker this turn, which is not good. Granted, it would get rid of one of the Skull Flayers. Alright, they'll just take it, I guess. Yeah, these Skull Flayers are getting a little bit out of hand here. When they're good, but when they're bad, they're bad. So only when it enters from our graveyard. Darn. Well, we can attack here. That was weird. They don't have anything? They're just chumping? Okay. Sure. They've made some weird plays this game. They unearth their Thopter. Yeah, that's good. I might throw away this Dragon Engine just to unearth it, to be honest. Although now with Bitter Reunion, maybe not. Gosh, that Boulder Branch Golem, that's annoying. Did we just hold back? Because as long as we hold back, this thing gets bigger. But if we attack here, then they have good attacks on the backswing. Okay. Whittling down their board bit by bit. I'm going to hold on to this bit of reunion here. In case we draw a land or something, we can get rid of it. Or draw an unearthed creature, we can get rid of it. So Boulder Branch Golem coming in. We could do this and this. That would trade for probably these two. No, we wouldn't even need to do that. We just need to do this because these both have double strike. So we trade both of these for a golem here. Would I rather trade both of these for a golem? Probably. I think I'd rather have this around. Yes, we have to sacrifice a Power Stone, but like, whatever. We could actually trade both of these for a golem. That might be better. Because this has double strike. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, sweet. Exact reason I held on to the Bitter Reunion here. We'll go ahead and explosion this. Play this. And then oops, no. And then attack here and here. And we've got nothing better to do with our mana. So we'll just hit him for 8, and then we can just... they won't attack with this, and if they do, I'll just chump it. Okay, that's fine, I think. We can do both of these things, you say. Alright, well, let's do that then. I'll take action. I'll discard my hand, please. Give everything haste and menace, and this has to be enough, right? Yeah, it's got to be enough. Alright, sweet. That was pretty nice. This deck is doing some things. Alright, we're in the draw here with a not great hand, but I don't mulligan. Harbin on 2. Yeah, that's going to be difficult. That's certainly going to be difficult here. Okay, no other plays though. So this thing has reach, and if we play 2 of them, then theoretically they could block. Assuming they don't have removal or a way to blow us out. Ooh, the full 3 color. Ay, this is a quick way to lose a game of Magic the Gathering here. Gosh, we can get Tron basically next turn, but like, we're just gonna die to a Vanguard. Yeah, their start is just so explosive. It's very difficult to do anything about it. Oh, and they get 2 triggers off of that as well. Give it to itself, and then hit us for 9, and then we die next turn. This has first strike, too. Oh my gosh, what a freaking start, man. So this is gonna be the world's saddest tower worker. No, we just lose. Yeah, that was ridiculous. Do any of y'all play games like that where it's just like your opponent doesn't let you play Magic? All these 7-0s, it's like all it takes is a game like this to not go 7-0. And like I had no control over losing that game. So hopefully y'all experience that too. Okay, we go first. Fine enough. Unfortunately, no play on 2. But can't always be lucky. Well, there's our play on 2. Alright, so now do we play this on 3 and trade with their 2-drop? Or do we go 4, 5, and then see if we can get to... No, I mean, this just trades. But... Oh, they just choose not to. Well, that's why you take those lines sometimes, folks, I guess, because... That can't be correct, can it? You're missing land drops and then choosing not to block? That's why. Alright, well, we can at least attack here. But now you're not in a good spot. Well, now you are. That's all it took. And we'll just keep drawing our 5-drops, I guess. Wow. Well, that turned quickly, didn't it? Okay. I mean, they're not playing good cards, but we're not doing anything. So I could Unleash Shell on the Baloth, attack with everything. They eat the Chain Dancer and take 7 down to 2. Or I could just play like a Mishra's Juggernaut and potentially do that next turn. But they're probably going to play more creatures. The only thing is the Juggernaut attacks right into that and just dies, which is not good. So we have to play the Juggernaut the turn before we think we're going to win. Or like dump it to a Bitter Reunion and unearth it. I think I'll do this for now. I'll go find the Mine Worker. Okay, that's fine. Opportunist, yep. And another creature. So all these extra creatures are not very fun. What does this do for us? Lets us cast a Mine Worker for 1. Potentially makes these cheaper. Well, it does make these cheaper for next turn. I could have gotten the tower worker to be able to block that, which might have been better. Another Drake. Okay, well, I mean, they are attacking. What if we attack with everything here? What if we killed this? They go to 9. They then have 3 blockers. They would block 1, 2, 3 and take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh no, that's not quite there. Right. So Unleash Shell, they go to 9. They have 3 blockers. They would essentially block these 3 right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So then I'm going to do it next turn. If they attack with both Drakes and don't play another creature, and even if they do play another creature, we're probably okay. But if they play like 2 or 3 creatures, then we might be in trouble. Or if they play a Boulder Branch Golem, we're definitely in trouble. Yeah, that gives us a Power Stone. That's nice. No more creatures. It is removal. Well, there's a tower worker. Let's see if we have lethal though. So they're at 9 and they have 1, 2, 3, 4 blockers. So we attack here. So the block, take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're not even remotely close to dead now. And Juggernaut has to attack this turn, which means it's just going to get eaten by the Honor Guard. Unless we Unleash Shell the Honor Guard, attack with Juggernaut, they block it. They take 3 and this dies. But then we don't have these 2. The Tower Worker can block their Swiftgear Drakes. Not to mention we gain 3 life off of the Mine Worker now. So, yeah, I know this dies, but oh well. I thought we had lethal, or a way to do it, but we'll be okay. Because I didn't have shoot down the turn before, so they do have priority now, but it could just be this Thran Spider. So we'll block here this time. Looks like it is the Thran Spider. And then they whiffed. Okay, now do we have it? They have 4 blockers, so they block this, this, and this, and they take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? They don't have any priority here, so... Alright, they have 4 blockers, so they block... Here. Here, because this can get double strike, and here. And they take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, that should do it then. This time math is for attackers. Now math is for blockers. Wait. Did I just miscount? Oh my gosh, I miscounted. How did I miscount? Oh my gosh, they let us have it though. I 100% miscounted. Oh my gosh. That's embarrassing. What did I do? I thought I counted like twice. What did I do? Oh. Oh well. Alright, we'll keep, I guess. So, I think last game what I did is they had 4 blockers and I was counting them. When I was doing my math, I was counting that they only had 3 blockers. Well, we all make mistakes, right? So, here we are. Oh well. Yeah, we had the win there, I just threw it away. I love 5 drops. I love 5 drops. That's a good one. I also hate lands. Oh my word. Oh man, it was going so well until it wasn't. Interestingly, we've played 4 games this draft and 2 have been against mono decks. We are also a monocolored deck, so... That's what happens here late in the format. Everybody's like, oh, I want to try the things I haven't tried yet, like assembling TRON. So again, even though we're going to go 1 or 2 and 3 this draft, we still won because we assembled TRON twice. The last game we had TRON when I decided to punt. Yeah. Hey, we did it. the Dragon Engine can trade for the Cindermaw. That might just have to be worth it. And then in about 13 turns, when we empty our hand, we can unearth that. See if they have the Excavation Explosion. No, that might just be a blue-red deck that's color screwed, or a mono-red deck that didn't get there. What is that thing? Who needs Excavation Explosion when you can have Mishra's Command? My hand is like, can I interest you in yet another 5-drop? I mean, this is the problem with our curve. I told you our curve was atrocious, and this game it's going to knock us out of the draft, because we have drawn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of our 6 5-drops. And 3 lands. Yeah, we're pretty toast. Yeah, I don't really know what we can do here because we take 3, 4, 5, 6. This thing kills us next turn. We could chump here, take 3 there, go there, take 2, dead here to next turn. So I'm just going to save us all of our time and end this one. And I would like you to go back in time and stop watching after the first 2 games, because the next 3 were not where we wanted to be at all. The last game was a non-game. Second to last game was a punt, and I can't remember the game before. And the third game before that was a non-game because they played Harbin on turn 2 and Vanguard on turn 4. So, yeah, that's the problem with Magic the Gathering sometimes. Sometimes you have great, fun experiences, and then other times it's like, well, I just queued up and conceded twice. So, oh well. But hope you enjoyed at least the fact that we were able to assemble Tron and had a couple of fun mono red wins. So thanks so much for sticking around to the end of this video, and I will see you next time for your daily draft.